You're now watching a clip from the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
They got some rule changes, right?
Yeah, so the NCAA finally is changing where they are allowing student athletes to really profit or off of their image and likeness. So it's basically where you can start to promote different things and you can get paid for it.
Okay.
You can get a job or whatnot, because before, student athletes weren't even allowed to get a job, which is crazy because
Slavery.
other students at that school are able to get a job and make money for themselves. Why not a student athlete?
Agreed.
So obviously they're bringing in the most money for the school, especially the football team or football players. So it's always been a ludicrous rule that has finally been changed this week. So a lot of players have signed with different promotional deals that are promoting different businesses, or a lot of players, including Derek King, the quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes, now has his own logo. He can promote himself. A lot of players came out with their own logos for things. But what I really want to talk about with this rule is what this does for the Miami Hurricanes, man. Now, the Miami Hurricanes were on probation twice within the past 30 years, let's say. And it really crippled the program because it was really right after they were dominating both times. Mm-hmm. After they was winning championships in the 80s and 90s, all of a sudden we're on probation in the 90s. You don't hear about us until the 2000s when the probation is over. And then in the early 2000s, we win a championship. We go to another championship game, which we should have won. We already know. And we get on probation again because of this other guy who was paying players, taking them out to strip clubs
and
or whatever.
The beaches, the weather,
and
the women.
All of a sudden we're on probation again. So for the later 2000s and early 2010s, we're pretty much a relevant franchise now, program. Now we're about to come back again in full force, bro, because now these players can get promotional deals. There's a gym owner, a UFC gym owner, who said that he's going to pay $500 to every scholarship player on the University of Miami football team. Hey! $500 a month. So you already know that is going to be a recruiting tool, and players are going to want to come to Miami. Mm-hmm. And it's already started because you got 2 5-stars last year with James Williams and Leonard Taylor. So that's just going to continue. That's just going to continue for the Canes. And I think the Canes actually have a chance to finally really be back.
Yep.
Because it's not like this wasn't happening before. Because I've heard stories of debit cards being left in
LSU,
and in locker
Alabama,
rooms.
Ohio State.
Mainly stuff like that comes from the SEC type of schools. So now it's just out in the open. So I would think Miami's going to have a lot more to sell than a team that's in Alabama, because let's be honest, it's only the football team that's out there. And it's not like it's a good educational institution either. Mm-hmm. Miami is better educationally. It's better aesthetically. We already talked about the beaches, the women, the location.
The weather.
I mean, movies are made down here all the time. So there's just a lot of upside for a player to come down here and play football. So I think this is a rule that should have happened. Finally, it has happened. And places like the Miami Hurricanes are going to benefit the most from it.
Yeah, definitely. The Miami Hurricanes definitely going to benefit from it. Again, like Marcus was saying before, like everybody would probably want to go ahead and play over here. Why? Because we have more to offer, environmentally wise. We have yachts that can go ahead and have people do their thing, and sponsor their yachts. We have everything that you may want compared to being in Indiana or Louisiana. What are you gonna do in Louisiana? Go to Bourbon Street? What are you gonna promote like that? You know, Miami have a plethora of different. Not even Miami, but the state of Florida in general. You know, will definitely benefit from that. Again, we were the first ones to actually say that we're gonna do it anyway before this actually really passed. Florida governors or whatever said that they were gonna pay for the players' likeness 2021 anyway, and they had everyone else scrambling and like, damn, you know, we remember what it was when the Canes was on top. You know, like nobody cared about Alabama, nobody cared about LSU, nobody cared about Ohio State. It was about Florida. That was Florida State. That was the Gators, and definitely that was the Canes. You know, so just the plain fact that we can get there, and Miami was the first to do it, trendsetters. Miami already have players going to get $500 a month for basically just doing nothing. Like, yo, and I really think that's the back end. That's the front end. The back end, you know, getting cash, you know, and then you have these boosters, like you said, probably gonna leave some cards, you know, in their actual locker room. You know, I really feel like it's really gonna turn into the Wild Wild West. Because again, remember what LSU happened when they won the national championship? What wide receiver wind up getting
Odell Beckham Jr.
Exactly, Odell Beckham. Of course, he's stupid. Everybody's not the brightest star in the sky. But because, again, you did that on camera. You could have did that in the locker room. But, you know, some people like attention.
He did it in the locker room, too, but there were cameras in the locker room.
Exactly. You got to know when. Exactly. But you like, look what you doing then. You feel what I'm saying? He just, again, some people, sometimes they so used to doing something, they forget that they're not supposed to show this to the world.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? They just hated Miami. That's why we got 330 for 30s. That's why they did not like how we was in Army fatigues. They did not like the way we celebrated. Everything when Miami celebrated, penalties, this, that, and the other. Like, they started all type of rules because of where we live, because of all the good stuff that we have. We got the beach right up the street, and we barely go. Chris go all the time. But, like, I barely go to the beach. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you got the pool downstairs. You feel me? And you barely go where other people never seen the beach. Other people never had, like pool, beach, like, this warm weather. Like, cold air is 60 degrees, 65 degrees in Miami. Y'all being like 20 degrees. Hell nah. When I press brakes, I want to stop. I do not want to go ahead and have black ice or anything like that.
Man, I ain't shoveling no snow either.
And not just that, but career-wise, if you're a player that had an injury, like, when it get cold, where you're at, you're stiffening up. It's harder to rehab. In Miami, it's always warm. You feel me?
And you got the best medical.
And you got the best medical staff. Period.
Yeah.
So, hey, it is what it is. You seen what they did to Oladipo. You seen what they did to Kawhi Leonard. Their medical staff supposed to be the greats. And they're having people gimpy. Whereas you come to Miami, you know, something happened. You seen Willis McGahee when we thought his career was over. Like, he tore every ligament in his.
Still to this day, one of the worst injuries. To watch in live.
Where did he get that surgery? Dade County. You feel what I'm saying? So again, that's another thing. So it is what it is.
Frank Gore tore both of his knees in college.
Exactly.
And he's still playing to this day.
To this day. So what'd that tell you? The weather means something. The medical staff, not even just the weather, but the medical staff. The medical staff means a lot. The weather means a lot. The beach means a lot. You know, of course, you know what we say, the weather, the beach, and the women means a lot. And not just that, but look, it's the party city. Like, our clubs close at 7, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. Y'all clubs close at 2, 3 in the morning.
2 o'clock.
You feel me? 2 o'clock.
Most of everywhere else is like 2 o'clock. It's only like New York, LA, and us that are pretty much like 24/7.
And not just that, when you go to the Script Club, they got pasties everywhere. Over here in Miami, it's butt booty naked. You over here get to see it all. So this why you want to come down here. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because you got all of this. Nah, I don't go to the Script Club. That ain't me. I ain't throwing no bread on no sack. You feel me?
You know it ain't a strip club unless they showing, you know.
A fight. I'll go over there for a fight. You know, I go for the fried lobster at at Tootsie's, of course.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go again and get that happy hour vibe.
That steak
You get
over
a
there
drink,
was fire too.
you feel me? Cheetah's got the drink. You buy a drink. It don't even need to be liquor, and you get a free 10-piece wings or a burger or a meal.
Yeah.
Look, I just go over there, get my drink, my regular drink, and then I get some food for free, and I bang it. I ain't get no dance. I ain't nothing. So again, still, regardless, I still get a good view though. But again, regardless of the fact, you got to understand, this is more reason why it's going to benefit Miami, and people probably going to stay in Miami. Unless you're trying to go over there to other places like Alabama because you're like, oh, I want to be a first rounder, this, that, and the other. But you got to understand, when you go to these different schools that have plethoras of 5-star players, you're probably not going to get some playing time. That's why a lot of people are transferring out, because you thought you was the greatest when you was in your city, and then you went to Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, but you got like 5 guys in front of you.
Right.
You know, do it for Dade County. You know, hold it down for the people, the trendsetters that started it first, that basically made the rest of the country follow suit, because we said we're gonna do it. And again, some people gonna say California is live too, but your state's tax sucks. We have no state tax, and you could keep all the bread down here in Dade County.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what's the next topic we got?